So I'm now recording on a different device real quick. A new device, but very cheap device. But if it works, it works. Sitting here trying to eat some Jello. I just felt like I had to run to my room because I just needed to be in this place of quietness. I've been watching TV all day. I've been flipping through YouTube all day. That's part of my problem. Still been stuff been triggering me or whatever, but more so triggering me to feel emotional. I seen that a video that had these twins in it who've been having a lot of chaos going on in their lives for the past 6, 7, 8 months, something like that, maybe even longer. But yeah, I just started feeling emotional, almost burst into tears with one of them, because one of them was crying, and it was, it wasn't, I don't want to say it's touching, but it was like what she was talking about. It was more believable, honestly, than what her sister started talking about. Her sister started crying too, but it was a lot going on. Other things I'm thinking about, how I'm still, I don't want to say stuck on, but part of me just was thinking about how, my daughter's dad's mom, she was like, my son is a whole nigga. He ain't nothing but a nigga, and this and the third. He's still a nigga. But she she feel like she can utilize him how she want to, like utilize him to get my daughter, keep my daughter, and stuff like that, and working her on her behalf. And it kind of reminds me of this movie that I watched last night. What is it? Too Close to Home or something like that. I don't know the name of the. I don't know the name. Oh, hush. Oh, this is gonna be doing this for a minute. Okay. So anyway, that was my camera motion detection loading or whatever. But yeah, Never Too Close to Home. I don't know the character's name, the actors and stuff like that, but of course it was this mother who could basically get her son to pretty much believe anything about her, even though she could be a liar and lie and all this stuff, but she can, she had his emotions, and she ended up getting the gas chamber death penalty, which I thought was very fitting. And I'm saying, I don't like to be like that about females, period, and especially specifically about mothers. I don't, because, I mean, it's real out here, it's rough out here. But that's how, like, the way that portrayed her is pretty much how I see a lot of these females, and I've seen them in action. And I be working hard not to be that type of mother, even when my daughter was here, and I continuously do that now. But definitely with my sons, I just don't want to be the first woman. I don't want them to hate any women, but I definitely don't want to be the first woman that makes them hate other females, and or have that contempt and stuff towards females. So it's a struggle out here. And I say that too because their dad went through that and ended up having much contempt for females. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, just a whole lot of. But yeah, she said that, and again, it was to work on her behalf. She was over here, coming to vigils and stuff like that, just making sure that she can get up in the mix of something and be meddlesome. This is a lady who broke down crying to me, and I guess these was fake tears or whatever. I thought it was real, but broke down crying to me, talking about she was sorry for being meddlesome, and that her husband now she know how it is because her husband's mom was like that and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh my goodness. But she continued on. She proceeded to continue to steal, and this is how I say it, stay in young folks' business and stuff like that, even down to the even younger generations. And she even uses and utilizes the younger generations to do her bidding and stuff like that. So And they fall for it because, well, they moms or they parents or whatever, most mainly moms, the dads do be absent, but their moms and stuff be falling for it first and allowing them, and they be thinking, oh, this is Miss such and such, and she's, you know what I'm saying, they be swearing that, just because somebody is called a miss or something like that, that they ain't got nothing vicious with them. But I be seeing through it or whatever, and so, I'm still dealing with what I'm dealing with. It upsets me. I do believe that her dad sees through his mom and stuff and all them shenanigans. I don't know if he just scared of her. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he really just like, oh, well, she's just the real deal. She know how to, what I'm saying, get stuff accomplished in that lifestyle that they like to live or that I've known them to live or whatever. Criminal lifestyle, criminal behavior. And so he might be infatuated with that. But anyway, thinking about that, then thinking about the other female who've had people that come for me. Like, people literally send people to try to come for me. Then people be in denial or try to convince me that they haven't or whatever, but they do. It's obvious, it's been clear. Um, and it didn't work or whatever. Like, some people tried, but either they ended up pregnant or they ended up, you know what I'm saying, just basically being stopped in their tracks. Because it's like, for one, it's God protecting me, and it's like, yeah, she didn't do what you think she did, or feel, let's say feel, not even think, feel she did or whatever. That's your feelings, and they won't hash those feelings out and stuff like that. So, and find out what the real issue is. But oh Lord, I'm feeling, it's not a heaviness, but just these emotions. I'm just like an emotional day, and I wanted to get some stuff done. I need to get some stuff done. I ain't even from the front to myself. I really do need to at least wash some clothes or whatever, but some other stuff plenty needs to be done. But I've been like self-soothing and been on my game and stuff like that, and watching and just flipping through the channels and stuff, just trying to hope and pray that stuff gets in order. But yeah. So, oh, I got one more. Oh no, it was two more. So yeah. Some people would call that wasting time or whatever. It is what it is. God is in control of and above time, outside of time, and all that. So time is within Him. So I'm not worried, but I am going to respect that He is all those things. He's above and in control of and outside of time. So He gives it to us. He gives us a time length and a wavelength for a reason. A time frame for a reason. Anyway, I'm inching on closer to 35 years old, and oh Lord, if you ask me, see, I'm gonna say this: my life was supposed to look somewhat like this. I'm living out part, and it's like I did not, people talk about manifesting or whatever. I didn't get the full manifestation of what I wanted to live out, but I'm living out part, and to me now it's a very small part. Before it seemed like it was a bigger part that I was truly living out, but honey, these days it's like, girl, you missed the mark. So that's how I feel or whatever. But granted, some people would say, oh, you're right where God wants you to be, and this, that, and the third, and I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I know I am physically the location because I wanted to get away from here. I've been making plans to get away from here and all that, and it didn't happen. Like, He literally gave me more of a reason to sit myself right here, stay still, and just chill out. And I'm just like, Lord, but for how long and for why? Why? When these people getting on my nerves, they trying to start stuff for me. They try to come for me in subtle ways, sometimes in outright ways. But yeah, the one who sent people to come for me, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. I had it on my mind earlier, but I didn't come in here fast enough to speak on it. I lingered. So this is what's going on. Uh, I try to handle some business today. Trying not to let business handle me, but anyway. Um, mm, man, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. I've been trying to go back over some of my dreams and stuff, and just made possibly some old emails if necessary, but not really because I don't want that negative energy on me. Um, Also, that's why I might have mentioned it on another video, but yeah, I couldn't recall I was talking to my kids earlier today, and I couldn't recall the type of beer that their dad would drink, and I knew it well. I found it out now, or whatever. I know now because I was about to look it up, and it was just like on the tip of my tongue, but it felt good to forget some things about him, especially specifically that one. I mean, that should have been forgotten about and actually done away with just as soon as I learned about it. But forgetting that about him, because again, this is a man that I was feeling in love with. Um, and y'all couldn't mess with my involvement with him. Nobody could. It's not that nobody could tell me nothing. I heard people when they were saying certain stuff, but it was a still. I'm gonna have to see it for myself, and I'm gonna have to find out for myself. Um, and not to spite people, but it was just like, no, I'm not gonna let nobody get in this. I feel like this is what I've been waiting for, and wanting, where nobody's gonna get in my business. But honey, he wasn't not getting people in my business. He was trying to keep stuff low key because he was doing some foul stuff, and he was doing it in a subtle way or whatever. And so, he just basically deemed me a sucker and all this or whatever. And that he thought he was getting away. Meanwhile, I was staying prayed up. Like, I mean, but you think that God don't see you? Do you think that I'm not? You think I'm in this alone? You think I'm going to abandon everybody? Or you think I'm going to turn my back on God to deal with you? Absolutely not. Now, my feeling sometimes was like, and it wasn't even often. Honestly, with dealing with him, I always wanted to run to God more, but it wasn't I didn't have the happiest moments. I had the moments where, oh, Lord, need to be cautious, or just something crazy was going on. Not a lot of spectacular stuff, but yeah. So nah, I didn't leave God out of the equation. And I just let it play on out. So that was that or whatever. But oh man, yeah, it felt good to forget some stuff about him. I was talking to my sons again. I asked my sons, would they want to go visit if their dad really wanted to see them, if he was locked up, would they go visit him? And my older son, he was just like, I don't know. My younger son, he was like, probably not. And he gave a reason why. He said, because remember that time I was trying to see the tablet and I said, yeah. And he was like, no, ain't no yeah. And this dude, my son had to been like 2 or 3 because his daddy ain't been around in them 3, almost pretty much almost 4 years or whatever. Hold on, 2017, end of 2017 to all of 2018, 19, 20, 21. Gosh, it's been 4 years now. It's going on 4 years. So that he was 2 and he remembers something like that. So I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like him, but I don't remember it. I don't recall or whatever. But um, I was just asking them, and yeah, because all these stories of these black men doing this crazy stuff, the what's his name, Raji Black and all that. With being on Lord have mercy, being on Facebook Live or whatever, and they just don't care. Be on social media, do not care, just wilding. But being goodness, yeah, on Facebook Live and killed his ex-wife and killed his girlfriend, well, pregnant girlfriend and all that. So I was just talking to them about some of these, a lot of people call it pathology, but some of these behaviors of these black men and what's going on, and being that they are young black men themselves, just try to have that certain talks with them. But I still, of course, I'm like, God, I really need you, because we still, even though I can talk to them from a woman's perspective, I still need that perspective of a man for them. I need that in their life. I'm not trying to deny them that, and even just starting to speak up. Even I'm like, if something was to happen to y'all dad, where he went into a situation like that, would y'all go see him? Like, cause y'all not saying I wasn't telling them that they need him or whatever, but just saying, that's still your dad or whatever, and whatever. I don't really know how to phrase it right now because I'm on some other stuff too, like stumbling over words and all that, because I don't know, my anxiety trying to flow. I don't want to claim it as my anxiety. Excuse me, I need to stop saying that. But the anxiety that tries to plague me is trying to run rampant for some reason. As usual, I'm missing my daughter. I ain't seen my child and ain't talked to her. Some would say, well, she reached out to you on that day, November the 9th, and you didn't reach, as far as other videos, you didn't reach back. But yeah, part of me just feel like she chose, oh, my phone was ringing. She chose material things, of course, over me, but also chose other people. And one of those people being the one that I was speaking about earlier, the vicious female who considers her son nothing but a nigga. Like, I just can't sit back and see myself calling my sons that. I can't see it or imagine it, but I can sense and feel once a man doesn't help you out and you're raising sons, it's different. To me, it's different for a woman. Like, you're not going to be able to effectively do that. And I know some women have gotten their sons to adulthood, but you're not going to be able to effectively do that without the help of a man, period. And I believe it's designed like that. I definitely have God, and I have to. That's what's sustaining. That's who's sustaining me and keeping me. But I still feel and believe that He designed for my sons to be raised also by a man. And right now, their dad is. I don't want to reduce it or anything, but he's contributing financially, and I don't want to say barely, because I'm thankful that something is coming in. But, that's it. He's not seeing our children or anything. And I mean, I guess that was his plan all along. Like, I'm going to impregnate her. And now, mind you, he didn't tell me that he trapped me or anything like that, but he did get me pregnant. And I was there. I know how at least the second one happened, but I know how the first one happened too, where he was asking me, you want a boy, don't you? And this, that, and the third. And, yeah, the sexual tension, not tension, sexual energy and stuff was there, those, whatever, but, like, that's literally what I desired, a son. I already had a daughter, and, and I had wanted a daughter before, I had wanted a son before I wanted a daughter anyway, but, anywho, so, yeah, that's that. I'm just feeling some type of way, and I really almost feel like he just set it up to where, yeah, she's gonna get pregnant, whatever she have, you know what I'm saying? And especially if it's boys, she's by herself, and then, she's gonna need some help. She's gonna need, and then this is also the same man that told me, you don't need no man to do for you. And I'm like, but I got, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here like, but for one, I've been asking for help. For two, I got children. Of course, I had all my children at that point in time when he was saying that, but like, and then I definitely got male children, excuse me. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It was high level disrespect. Like, I don't even appreciate you saying that to me. Like, that's cool. Like, that's okay to even try to convince me of that. But anyway, I'm just praying continuously for victory, and trying to just stay prayed up continuously. I do deem myself a prayer warrior. I, I believe God just gave me that type of gifting, and I'm thankful for it. And any way I can be of use in the kingdom, and just want to do that, even though I'm frustrated at times, almost away from, and maybe even distracted from praying as often as I should. But it does seem like He's stirring me up more here lately, and I'm kind of, I barely want to say getting back to that, because I don't get away from prayer, but I just was it was at a place where it was just felt like leveled out. Like, I don't need to pray right now, I'm good, but the Bible say pray. without ceasing. But yeah, I just had this belief that there's certain things that I could do when I'm in worship to God. Like, it's symbolic of worship and adoration to God. So, I was just, to me, my life was just that living uh, adoration and worship to Him, and still is. I'm say for the most part, I'm not gonna front. I need help getting to some roots and stuff like that, getting back to some roots, or just um, yeah, those type things. If somebody can understand, somebody listens to this video and they can understand where I'm coming from without me having to really say it like that, But I'm really definitely missing my daughter, and like I mean, I probably said this before, but I never thought in my lifespan that my child, and I had spoke. I was like, y'all not gonna do a live. There was things that I spoke. I said, y'all ain't gonna do a live abortion on this one, and then woke up, and I guess it was in 2020. Well, I would just started going in on his mama. Like, I started going in. I don't know if my boys' dad felt like I didn't go in on his mama. I did have a discussion with his mom before she died, and which led to her pressing false charges and this, that, and the third, claiming to feel harassed or be harassed. She wasn't even. She felt harassed, but she wasn't, or she could have even been lying, just wanting something. But she might have felt harassed, but she wasn't being harassed at all. And if she was, I just feel like it was whatever harassment that she had been trying to send out regarding my household. So now I'm feeling like, okay, you're gonna have to go somewhere else because I already said I'm in here doing a video. I already said it. Um, and I told him that before I came in here. But like, and he, I mean, he's 6 years old, so he entitled to, still forget. But so anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so now I'm just feeling like I need for my daughter's dad's mom to know and understand, like, fully, the fullness, like, where I'm coming from, where I've been coming from, because I've actually known her naturally longer than I knew my boys' dad mom, and of course, I knew his mom for a very short period of time, but yeah, I know her longer, and she still couldn't comprehend my ways and stuff like that, and get the understanding of why I'm like I am. I've even told, I got a recording, I might put it on here one day, where I told her, you know, some of course, how I've been trained and what what I'm saying, what I've been taught to believe and stuff like that, and then some of my beliefs that I've developed. I didn't share everything with her because I just feel like she's so damn meddlesome and nosy as it is. Like, she just need to just go get your life, girl, and go enjoy your life at that. But she was telling me, they don't even come down there. She had got a house and everything. She was like, they don't even come down there with me and this and the third. Because they are grown. And she got two sons, and they are grown. They need to be grown in. They got their own life. Nobody want to sit there and just stay up under you the whole time. For my sons, I'm thankful that they're here now, but I'm hoping that they become grown men one day, and yes, that they do have their own life. Now, I don't want them to be being messy and trifling and stuff like that, but you know what I'm saying? That's the goal. They don't gotta sit up under me all the time. They don't even gotta come visit all the time. Now, who don't want to see their kids when they're grown and this and third? I mean, some people literally don't. But yeah, it was just her expectations of stuff and the way it was, and then she always, every time I say something in confidence about, like, I was confident about how I was raising my kids and my parenting style, and she was like, nobody knows, and they ain't got a manual and this and the third. God gives a manual, and he give you the opportunity to wake up every day and be a parent, have your parenting style in him. Like, in him we live, move, and have our being. That's what I should say. So there's ways or whatever, and she just kept on trying to convince me otherwise, all this or whatever, and just saying stuff in opposition to what I was saying. Like, I might not be confident in no other area, but I'm sitting here confident in being a parent. And my parenting style, I'm confident that I'm being a steward over my children, a good steward at that. And I was just like, oh my God. And so she kept speaking certain stuff in my life. And I was just like, I was telling her, I was like, yeah, your son is just such a mama's boy. And I wasn't saying it derogatory because the dude will admit that he's a mama's boy to the fullest. But I said, he's such a mama's boy. Like, I don't want to be with him like that. And I don't even know why I'm talking about this stuff. But anyway, I don't want to be with him like that. I never want to be with him. I mean, I shouldn't have been with him like that to begin with, but I never want to be with him. You know what I'm saying? If it was somebody else that was a mama's boy like that, I don't want to be with them. My boy's dad was like a mama's man, and it's almost like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was his woman or whatever. But you couldn't prove it. You had to be up close in person. You had to know or whatever, because he did a good job with actually trying to live a life outside of his mama. But she was still there in a toxic type of way. But in a subtle toxic type of way. But yeah, and so she started to say, yeah, and yours are gonna. I mean, it was like just always taking shots, and your boys is gonna be mama's boys too. And I corrected her quickly. I was like, yeah, if I ain't correct her on nothing else, which I should have corrected her on much else. But I was like, yeah, they're gonna love their mom, but I'm not sitting around trying to have no mama's boys. Now, granted, the fact that I'm sitting here raising them, it makes me feel like, oh Lord, we're not gonna have this. But my boys will be in the house with me, and they can do their own thing. Um, they don't have to be stuck up under me, this, and the third. They don't have to make emotional decisions because of my feelings and emotions and all of that. They just don't. Hers, on the other hand, especially my daughter's dad, because that's her oldest. Her younger one, he do a little better with not doing that. And then I guess too, because I seen the name that came up in my inbox, it was no coincidence. Mm, 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 mm. And I almost missed it because I'm just like, that person's not connected to me. I don't understand. I don't want to. But I be forgetting that the lady got another son because she hounded my daughter's dad so much and was very deeply meddlesome regarding me and his. It wasn't. I don't want to call it a relationship, but me and his dealings. But feeling frustrated about that, and just hoping definitely, but just wanting my daughter to see through all of that madness. And granted, people can be delivered, but this lady is still. She blatantly told my daughter, I'm doing this because I'm scared. They blatantly told and let it be known that they were doing certain stuff to spite me or to try to make me feel like they claim that I made them feel, which again, what I'm doing, I wasn't doing it in vain. I wasn't doing it to even get y'all in your feelings. Could it get you in your feelings? Absolutely, but I wasn't doing it for that. So, of course, that's error to me. You operating, you're doing stuff for vain reasons. Um, but she blatantly told my daughter, and my daughter just still decided to stay there. So that's what's upsetting me and bothering me. And, of course, the enemy tries to get to you through your kids. If he can't get to you, he will try to get to you through your kids and stuff like that. And, my kids are definitely a major part of my heart, you know, just part of me, period. And so it's tough. It's been tough. I've explained it over, of course, of these videos, but with God, it's possible to just keep on moving. I want to say like, hey, I made it this far. I can keep going, but that's my, what I'm saying. That's my child. That's a child that I carried in my womb. It is probably never going to be that for me. Like, oh, I could just move on. I could just move forward. And I don't want nobody bothering me and tampering with me about my emotions regarding my daughter. Like, even speaking about my anything, unless it's somebody speaking to me with wisdom. But of course, these messy people out here that want to say, that's why your daughter this, that's why, and try to use that against me to try to hurt me and stuff like that. And it's like, it's a sad world we live in when all y'all do is try to hurt people. And I just be like, these are grown people that have been getting through life. Just for example, that like Rajiv Black, you know what I'm saying? People would deem him Some deemed them that high value man, or like some of them call that educated, lame, and this, that, and the third, whatever, or a good, decent man. But look what was produced. Look what came out of that whole situation. And so, yeah, I just don't want nobody bothering me about something that they don't fully know and understand what's going on. Anyway, you only see by outer appearance. Oh, her daughter's not there no more. She's with the dad. She said she's been with the dad. Because people have made comments saying stuff. Oh, your daughter know this about you and this and it's her. And I just be like, wow. Well, I mean, unless she sat down there and had a conversation with you and confided in you and told you that, then, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. But at this point, my feelings is like, yeah, other people seen stuff that you didn't see regarding your daughter, and it was, regarding you. But I look back and, like I said, I know some things and seen some things, and I look at when it happened and stuff like that. And sometimes it happened when this one little girl was around. This girl shares the same birthday as me, but it happened with that, and I already had dreams that the lady was using and utilizing these little girls, because these little girls, this girl specifically, but the little girls in general, because the little girls were so-called friends with my daughter. They are, to me they're associates, but she called them her friends and stuff like that, and so I didn't really take that away from her, but um yeah, you know um yeah, the lady, I had a dream that the lady used those girls. And I had told my daughter about that before all this happened. Like, I explained to her, but, it seems like she didn't care enough. Now, granted, when I seen her and I hugged my daughter on that day, that moment seemed like she cared fully. She even went and listened to what I said. I told her, okay, your brothers are right there. She went and hugged them and loved on them. But immediately after, she went back to doing the same, seemingly, off. It was off to me. I don't want to call it crazy, but it was just different to me, unusual. My son used that word today. I'm gonna say unusual, and that's almost similar to what my boy's dad was doing. Like, he would, yeah, I guess, if there's a such thing as my daughter love bombing me, then that's what she did. But because I always hear about narcissists love bombing and stuff like that. Like, their dad would love bomb, and barely, because, honey, he was barely speaking my love language. I just loved him from a pure place for agape love, so that was just that. And I felt sprung at times or whatever, but he would like love bombing. Then next thing you know, he would go back to doing that same old stuff, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So you know what manipulators do. So, but on that day, she didn't manipulate. I mean, I guess she might have knew it was a chance she would run into me, but she didn't manipulate me to arrive at the school at the same time as her or anything like that. God did that. God allowed that. Like, I wasn't even I was trying to get out of the line, but I was right there beside my daughter the whole time. I was like, the vehicle that her dad and whoever he was with brought her up in. I was right beside the vehicle the whole time, and I kept saying, "Is that?" I knew it was this type of vehicle because I knew the color of the vehicle. So she didn't do that, and her response, I felt like it was real, it was genuine, but immediately it just clicked. It's like it clicked off for some reason, and I never got to talk to her really, really after that. I didn't bother with her no more, because that thing just tried to hurt my feelings so bad, and it tried to throw me off balance with raising and tending to my son. So I was like, oh no, I'm not finna have that. I don't care who it is, love my daughter, but I'm not finna, that ain't no way. Unless I'm here personally up close and personal with you and I really can get the details. I said, oh no, that means that God wants me to specifically go to him on a regular basis, and that's what I'm gonna do. So, because when you in another household and they try to interfere with my household over here and how I operate with my kids and tear my little feelings and stuff up, absolutely not. Not to say that my feelings can't get hurt, but honey, You at a distance and you somewhere else. No, you doing to me. I feel like you doing that on behalf of somebody else. So I don't want to mistake it. So I'm gonna just leave that alone. So that's why I left it or whatever. But yeah, I felt like she was choosing material things and those people or whatever over me. Granted, that's who she knows as her family. I call them relatives and stuff like that. She last I knew, I guess deeming them as family and maybe even still, because you could be somewhere and still not, but and still be wise enough to know these are just my relatives. But I consider them her relatives, and yeah, just felt like she was choosing that side of her family over me. And I was like, how could you dare, honey? I'm the one that raised you, been taking care of you. I'm the one that, what I'm saying, pretty much allowed you to go be around them. But, that was my heart towards people. Like, I'm not gonna keep nobody kids away from them, period. Like, I never felt like that was right. Regardless of what type of person he was to me. And he was a nasty, funk, stank, nasty person to me, and worse. But I'm like, no, you don't mess with nobody. I don't care what it is and who it is. You don't mess with nobody's kids, even though he didn't go to Lamaze classes. He wasn't really involved in my pregnancy like that. When I first got pregnant with her, he wouldn't go to certain parenting classes. I was trying to, and me and him wasn't on that type of time before that. Like, I think we was getting there and there was indications that we would end up there. But me and him wasn't on that type of time. We was like, let him tell it we was romantically involved, but wasn't nothing romantic about it. But we was definitely involved. I dealt with him for 6 years of my life. And so that was my love boyfriend for 6 years or whatever. So yeah, that's what I was like, wait a minute. I never knew, and so with my boys, I'm trying to think. With their dad, I'm not gonna say he tried to get closer, but definitely during my pregnancy he was absent. For one time, it was because he felt like he, was court ordered to stay absent. Again, for me, divine and God's protection. The other time was definitely God's protection, but I don't know why I couldn't see that clearly, that they be away during my pregnancy so they can't stress me and we don't fight this, that, and the third. And that's what I feel like. And then my kids make it into this world. Because I would have went upside their heads if they pissed me off. I ain't even from the front. With their nasty mouths talking to me any kind of way, this, that, and the third. And we, what I'm saying, got to fighting or whatever. So, or whatever. Some violence would have tried to occur. And so for him to come back around, the boys said after the boys was, on the way here and stuff like that. I guess I see it now. I can look back. I'm feeling better with talking about this stuff, speaking about it on here, but I'm feeling like almost a lot better. I'm just not feeling the 100% that I want to or beyond. I like to feel more than 100, baby. But I'm feeling better with talking about this. With speaking about this. So I don't know what's next. I just know right now, emotional, missing my daughter. That girl, them twins or whatever, what she was discussing, it made me feel some type of way. Like, dang man, everybody got stuff going on. And I felt like some of what she was saying was genuine until I felt like it wasn't. Like some part of it started to seem a little, a little shaky, a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I don't know now. You was talking some truth until, but yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. Just feeling the type of way and wanting to pass and stuff, and just still, looking back over the years, just thinking about again how people have done me and trying not to feel too sorry for myself and this, that, and the third, because it's like, although I didn't go and individually do people wrong, I've done some subtle stuff, some things behind closed doors, and I didn't really, I wasn't doing it in my mind, I wasn't doing it to spite anybody, but that doesn't mean that it didn't spite somebody. That doesn't mean that, definitely didn't offend somebody. So That's where I be like, I try to roll with the punches and just, put your big girl panties on and just deal with what you got to deal with. But it's in that dealing with it, honey, it's still rough. It's still some hurt and stuff. So I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know what to do. But yeah, just talking about it makes me feel good. And I'm not actually talking to a therapist and stuff right now. I have been to some, and I talked about it, and I seen somebody. I feel like they benefited and helped me as much as I benefited and helped them. If not, you know what I'm saying, I helped them more because, of course I'm bringing in something financially for their agency and stuff like that, and I'm giving them, just like I'm putting content on here, I'm giving them content and stuff. Even the lady, she told me, she was like, oh, you're doing all the work. Oh no, it was another therapist I talked to a male one too. See, so I've tried to do the work to make sure that I see what's going on internally, and I've asked them, you know what I'm saying, a third party looking in, but giving them all this information. And I was diagnosed with being excited. I wish I was excited, but insightful. And then, of course, one with, acute stress. I don't want to say it's disorder, but it was acute stress something. And the DSMV or D, however you say it'll go into more details or whatever. But and that's being triggered by stresses in your environment and stuff, by things that, outside of you. And it was like, oh, wow. So, they gave me a better understanding. I don't know if medicine or anything is supposed to be prescribed for something like that. They didn't prescribe me anything, but I was told to, because I felt like I was forgetting stuff. It's like, oh, no, that's normal. Just your cortisol levels and this, that, and the third and all that. And I'm like, okay. But so I was learning something. But these males that I've been connected to, highly doubt they went and talked to anybody. A lot of them don't. That's kind of scary. And if they did, some of them would still manipulate the damn therapist and lie and all that. They wouldn't be trying to get real help. They would just be trying to still play a game of, let me see what I can get over on this person. I can tell them anything. So I'm just like, man, please. And then not to mention, Lord, the father, you know what I'm saying? Of course I had my stepdad, but the father figure or father that I don't really claim like that. Like seriously, I don't mean to, I'm not trying to be mean, but just being real, I don't claim or whatever. Like that right there is what set a lot of stuff off. It's like, dang, of course you was absent when I was born. You got my mom pregnant and then went on about your business. Ooh, how did that fall off of here? Anyway. I don't know how that fell, but whatever. Got my mom pregnant and went on about your business, got married, this, then the third, all that. So that set it off, and that's the subtle stuff. That's the stuff that tries to stay hidden. Because I talked about all that with my kids' dads, and my experiences with them. But I cannot forget that I too came from a male's. Even though I told him I came from my husband's loins, I ain't got time for all that. I ain't fooling with you, but I know that I came from a male's. I mean, I didn't come from my husband's loins. I said I came from my husband's rib. And I don't know. I know that I came from a man's loins. Specifically that man. And yeah. But I don't claim him. Look just like him, don't claim him. It is what it is. I acknowledge, to God, hey, I know that this man exists or this male exists, but I also know, and I've heard from different females, things that he's done. I've seen some stuff with my own eyes, and so, that part hurts me, that I'm like, I got to turn away from you because, and not to spite you, but I have to turn away from you because that stuff in order for me not to disrespect you and dishonor you because I feel like you opened up so much over my life. So the best way for me to deal with you is to deal with you at a very far distance, because I'm going to get disrespectful, and then of course I'm going to be held accountable being disrespectful, especially from God who told me to forgive him. Now, he did not say I had to stay up close and personal with this man, but he told me that I had to forgive him, and I'm still going through every day with the forgiveness process. And yeah, just trying to continue to get on past that or whatever. But yeah, um, so excuse me, I'm not buying this either. They think I'm about to buy this. Absolutely not. But yeah. So don't let that escape me. That So that was me sitting down talking to my kids about their dad, but still trying to sort through any issues that I may feel that I have with my so-called owned dad. Which again, I just pray, Lord, let it be done according to your will. I definitely have that love for him, and I can just say I have love for him. I don't, necessarily feel love towards him or any mushy type things or whatever, but and I'm glad that my daughter gets time with her dad, but I just don't like the interference regarding his mom and all of that, because that, to me, that messes up stuff. But also, I don't like the way, of course, her dad have done it. He's dealing with me in a harsh way because of his feelings and not really being logical. Not, I don't want to say logical, but not really being fair, definitely, but not really concerned about our daughter like that. He's just wanting to just spite me. He told me when she was younger, this my like he owned her and this and the third, like he owns her. But furthermore, not referring to her as something precious, but referring to her as something that comes out of your tail. Um, yeah, and so that's the part that bothers me. It's like, honey, I can tell you that your dad feel this type of way about you, and you still want to go into that area of danger, and that's good because that means you're forgiving, or you don't feel, you choose not to feel like that about him. But it's your mom telling you, honey, you need to be cautious and you need to be careful. That's the first man that is in your, or so-called man anyway, male that's in your life, that's gonna have that impact and try to like shape how you deal with the rest of them, the rest of some of the the males that you will come in contact, whether it be your peers, whether you get a little boyfriend or whatever the case may be. So that's my thing, where I'm trying to be that protective mother. But I guess we do just have to. Well, in this case, I know I gotta let her experience that because that's what she's chosen. Um, and that's that. So, like I said, I feel better from talking about that, getting that out, but I just don't know what tomorrow brings. I know the one that holds tomorrow, but I don't know what it brings, and I'm feeling I was feeling a little antsy. I'm feeling less antsy now, but I'm still feeling a little antsy. Then, of course, the death threat, I mean, not death threat, Lord help me, because there wasn't no death threat, it was a death wish. I felt the type of way. I felt like I wanted to snap back and say, and thinking that it's him, it's the boys' dad. I wanted to say, you hop, I die, because they said hop, I hop, you die, stupid bitch, hop, you die, skank. I was like, Lord, for one, that's immature. But I want to say, if it's who I think it is, baby, you need to go ahead and follow suit with your mama. But I didn't snap back. I didn't say anything. I really tried to get rid of it, but if I need, just in case I have to, again, it's self-defense, I have to um have that for any type of evidence. I'm just keeping it because I'm so quick to delete something that somebody negative say, because it's like, I'm not gonna do this with you, period. Like, that is definitely beneath me. I'm not gonna do that. But you know just keep it, just don't keep looking at it, and just trust that God knows the location of the person who sent it. He know the very fingers that typed it out. He know where they at. He know their location. He know how to show up. Show up, and some say show out, but he know how to show up and just be God, be who he is, and correct their behavior, correct their thought process. Whether, he helped them to change their mind and their feelings about that, or, he correct their tongue, the fingers that typed it and stuff like that, which I'm leaving it in his hands. I'm not trying to resolve it myself. I go to him and ask for resolve, but I'm not trying to resolve that for myself. Because, yeah, there's been people that have threatened me. That was another thing I thought about when his sister told me that she would just pull up and she said, I will pull up and beat your ass. And I'm like, wait, what? And, the brolic ratchet me wanted to say, bitch, try it. But the one that got the me that God pours into and helps me to get on pause, be like, no, exercise wisdom. Go ahead and exercise wisdom, my dear, or beloved, like a lot of people say, beloved. And you don't gotta respond to everything. And so I didn't ever respond. Of course, it never happened, but I just had a concern, like, y'all got so much damn anger on the inside of you towards somebody that don't even care nothing about you like that. When I say I don't care nothing about you, that of course that means I don't even care if you exist, honey. Like, you can literally not exist. Like, you think that you're talking or saying something to me regarding threatening my life or threatening that you're gonna do something. Girl, I'm already way past that, so don't. So please don't. And some would like to think that that's crazy, but I feel like that's just that's the amazing part of me. Like, this is why I try to stay calm, keep calm, all that, and just live my life, not even thinking about people like that. But yeah, she made them threats. I thought about that, and I'm like, oh god, then the false charges being pressed against me and stuff like that, and just the abusive things that have been done to me throughout my life. Period. The bullying, the actual people trying to fight me and stuff like that because of stuff that they don't comprehend, or somebody else initiating or egging them on. And then I just think about the females that well, her specifically, kept talking about my brother this, my brother that, and you don't know what your brother be doing behind closed doors because you're not interacting with him like that. He interacts with you as his sister, somewhat, because he was still, again, you could just hear the contempt come out towards her. I could anyway. I don't. He might not say it in front of everybody, but when he talked to me and mentioned his sisters at all, it was contempt, or it was one of them he favored more, of course, and I was just like, whatever. And so, yeah, when these sisters or these female relatives and stuff try to jump in there and speak up for the males, whether it be their cousins or whatever, and you don't know, you're not that female who had to or who dealt with him. So you need to back up and back off and like mind your business and learn to go to God on behalf of that female, that woman, or even your feelings about her because of what your so-called brother or cousin or whatever try to plant on the inside of you, get you to start feeling hatred towards another female and to try to tear another female down. When I say another female, I'm talking about another female, meaning that you can get done the same way or worse. So anyway, moving forward, it's been almost an hour. Let me get off of here.